ずれ全てのビデオの常識になる。デジタルトラッキング、そしてノイズイレーススピードサーチ。ハイファイビデオは三菱。
冷たいカップスープできました。新発売クノールカップスープコールド。夏のスープは決まった。味の素。
From Warner Home Video. .007 Happy Anniversary. Dr. No. From Russia with love. Goldfinger. Thunderball. You only live twice. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Diamonds are forever. Live and let die. The Man with the Golden Gun. The Spy Who Loved Me. Moonraker. For Your Eyes Only. Octopussy. A View to Kill. The Living Daylights.
Sept à la banque. 9 à la banque.
I need another 1,000.
I admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
In an age where idols are breakable, James Bond is indestructible, and our memories of him unforgettable.
A medium dry martini, lemon peel, shaken, not stirred.
Vodka?
Of course. My name's Bond. James Bond.
I know who you are, what you are, and why you come.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
James.
Moneypenny, a feast for my eyes.
Who are you?
My name is Pussy Galore.
I must be dreaming.
You're not trying to take advantage of me, are you?
Thought never crossed my mind.
The Pharaoh.
Voilà, monsieur. Château Latour 62.
Excellent, Henri, excellent.
We have, of course, the 61.
Yes, I know, a superior vintage, but open the 62 anyway. You see, tonight, Henri, we must have a wine that is precisely 25 years old, because we are celebrating an anniversary, a rather important one. Thank you. Superb. 1962. That was a year a chap called Bond, James Bond, first appeared in the cinemas. I'd like you to join me tonight in recalling his rather extraordinary life and times. To 007, to 25 years of adventure.
Why are you here?
Bond? James Bond?
Do I know the gentleman?
Well, he knows you.
Without being immodest, there's hardly anyone in this part of the world who doesn't.
And there are very few people who haven't heard of Bond. British Secret Service, 007, licensed to kill. He's good, even by my standards.
It's not a bad life for secret agents. First-class travel to the most delightful places, plenty of variety in the work, no time clock to punch. M, always very generous with the expense. But can't. And one does meet such interesting people. But not, however, the sort you'd invite home to lunch. I've always enjoyed train trips. Gives you a chance to get your thoughts together. Rather crowded and noisy in there.
Mr. Bond, it's good to see you again.
Rail travel is not what it used to be.
One can't get through life without meeting a few disagreeable people, I suppose. But the ones 007's likely to meet on a train or in the street, usually rather straightforward chaps. Kill or be killed, that's their game. It's their masters one has to worry about. They all wear their power and their villainy as if it was some rather rare and expensive aftershave. Subtle, unmistakable, unforgettable.
May I press you to a cucumber sandwich?
Thank you, no, nothing at all.
Am I too soon?
Not at all. I'm sure Mr. Bond is eager to start his tour. Miss Dufour will escort you to Dr. Goodhead, who will show you round. Ask anything you like.
Thank you for being so cooperative.
A pleasure. Look after Mr. Bond. See that some harm comes to him.
You persist in trying to provoke me, Mr. Bond. I could have had you killed in the swamp.
And why didn't you?
I thought you less stupid. Usually when a man gets in my way.
You are a clever, resourceful man, Mr. Bond.
Why, thank you.
Perhaps too clever. Twice our paths have crossed. Let's leave it at that. I should think our first meeting would have convinced you.
Oh, I see. You're worried about me not giving you a return game.
Both of us know perfectly well what we are talking about, Mr. Bond. But I see that it is necessary to remind you. Our job. Many people have tried to involve themselves in my affairs, unsuccessfully.
Remarkable. But what does the club secretary have to say?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Bond. I own the club.
Play, Mr. Bond. You need a great deal of luck to get out of this.
Oh, luck. But then I shall use player's privilege and use your lucky dice. It's all in the wrist. Double sixes. Fancy that. 200,000 rupees. I prefer cash.
Get it cashed for him.
Yes, sir.
Spend the money quickly, Mr. Bond.
I intend to, Kamal Khan.
You see, Mr. Bond, like every great artist, I want to create an indisputable masterpiece once in my lifetime. The death of 007, mano a mano, face to face, will be mine.
You mean stuffed and displayed over your rocky mantelpiece?
That's an amusing idea, but I was thinking in terms of history. A duel between titans. My golden gun against your Walther PPK. Each of us with a 50-50 chance.
6 bullets to your 1?
I only need 1.
Good evening, Mr. Bond.
Blofeld.
Good evening, 007. Double jeopardy, Mr. Bond. You killed my only other double, I'm afraid. After his death, volunteers were, understandably, rather scarce. Such a pity. All that time and expense, simply to provide you with one mock heroic moment.
Well, it's hardly worth the effort. After all, I wouldn't know which one of you to kill.
We appreciate your predicament, Mr. Bond. We deeply sympathize. Right idea, Mr. Bond.
But wrong pussy.
This Grant's one of the best men we've ever had. Homicidal paranoic, superb material. Though his methods were a little crude, his response to our training and indoctrination have been remarkable. I hope our work here meets with your approval.
Training is useful, but there is no substitute for experience.
I agree. We use live targets as well.
Doesn't do to trust to luck when dealing with that crowd. You need the best possible imaginable weaponry, or the best possible unimaginable weaponry. And for that, 007 relies on Q. Bit of a genius. Bit of a fusspot, too. Never thinks the agent in the field can understand his gadgets or take proper care of them. And that's ridiculous. They're also simple to use. That's the beauty of them. Excuse me. Q, could you step in here for a moment, please?
Now, pay attention, please. Windscreen bulletproof, as are the side and the rear windows. Revolving number plates, naturally. Valid all countries. Now, this one I'm particularly keen about. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
No, why not?
Because you release this section of the roof and engage and fire the passenger ejector seat. Whoosh.
Ejector seat? You're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007.
Oh, no.
Ah, 007.
What a wonderful surprise.
Well, for me, too. I must say, I find this business of equipping you in the field, on the run, as it were, highly irregular. Here we have a Geiger counter. Useful and unobtrusive. The sweep hand takes the radioactivity count. It's waterproof, of course.
But of course.
Now, here's something I want you to use with special care. With special care.
Everything you give me.
Treated with equal contempt. Yes, I know, but that's an underwater camera. It takes 8 pictures in rapid succession by pressing that button there.
Is that clever?
But if you can take pictures in the dark with an infrared film, yes. Try to be a little less than your usual frivolous self, 007. I want that ready for Ahmed's tea party.
Ah, there you are, 007. Balls Q. Bolus, 007. Good. Have that ready for Army Day.
Yes, sir.
Q. Smithers, how's the arm?
Coming along very nicely, thank you, sir.
That'll come in handy.
This is now being issued as standard equipment. Strap it on your wrist. It's activated by nerve impulses from the wrist muscles.
Like this?
Oh, thank you, 007.
Be careful, will you?
Yes, Q.
10 dots. 5 blue-tipped with armor-piercing heads, 5 red-tipped, cyanide-coated, causing death in 30 seconds.
Very novel, Q. You must get them in the stores for Christmas.
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I wasn't looking, but somehow you found me. I tried to hide from your love, but like heaven above me, the spy who loved me is keeping all my secrets safe tonight, and nobody does it better. Though sometimes I wish someone could. Nobody does it quite the way you do. Why'd you have to be so good?
Good morning, Major Boothroyd.
Morning, Major.
Look what Q's brought for us. Isn't it nice?
Right. Now, pay attention, 007. I want you to take great care of this equipment. There are 1 or 2 rather special accessories.
Q, have I ever let you down?
Frequently.
007's major enemies had this in common. They lived beyond our means, beyond our wildest dreams, for that matter. They also shared this belief that money can and should buy unhappiness for the entire world. At the command of their low cunning was the highest technology. To combat such sophisticated power, you need more than weapons or brute strength.
Here we are, sir. Human poisoning from native plants.
Good work, Temple. Oh, this is the first edition.
I'm afraid it's the best we can do, sir.
Any chance of finding the 74 printing? There's a footnote in Appendix B I'm particularly keen on.
I'll have a look-see, sir.
Thank you, Temple. The secret life of a secret agent. Exciting, isn't it? But if power is knowledge, then it stands to reason that the powerful must be exceedingly knowledgeable. Won't do for 007 just to keep up with his enemies. He must be ahead of them. And it doesn't do him any harm around the Home Office either.
Ah, there you are, 007.
Minister, Chief of Staff.
Are you aware of our ATAC system, 007?
ATAC, sir. Automatic targeting attack communicator. Uses an ultra-low frequency coded transmitter to order our submarines to launch ballistic missiles.
It's a chemical formula of a plant. Orchidea nigra. A very rare orchid indeed.
Yes, it was thought to be extinct until a missionary brought one back from the upper reaches of the Amazoko.
Actually, he brought it back from the area of the river Tipperary.
Well done, James. Good morning, Sir Dalton. This is Commander Bond.
How do you do, Commander Bond?
Sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Sherry?
Not from me, thanks. Doctor's orders.
Commander Bond?
Yes, thank you.
You've been on holiday, I understand. Relaxing, I hope.
Oh, hardly relaxing, but most satisfying.
Well,
cheers.
Cheers.
Pity about your liver, sir. It's an unusually fine Solera. 51, I believe.
There is no year for sherry, 007.
I was referring to the original vintage on which the sherry is based, sir. 1851. Unmistakable.
Precisely.
Do you know what this is? Well, it looks like a Fabergé egg, sir. One of the jeweled eggs made by Carl Fabergé as an Easter gift for the Russian royal family. They're priceless and very rare. This one contains a model of the Imperial State Coach.
Top marks, 007.
Do you like Japanese sake, Mr. Bond? Or would you prefer vodka martini?
Oh, no. I like sake. Especially when it's served at the correct temperature. 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit, like this is.
For a European, you are exceptionally cultivated.
What do you know about a man called Scaramanga, 007?
Scaramanga? Oh, yes. The man with the golden gun. Born in a circus, father the ringmaster, possibly Cuban, mother English, a snake charmer. He was a spectacular trick shot artist by the time he was 10 and a local Rio gunman at 15. The KGB recruited him there and trained him in Europe, where he became an overworked, underpaid assassin. He went independent in the late 50s. Current price, $1 million a hit. No photograph on file, but he does have one distinguishing feature, however. A superfluous papilla.
What?
A mammary gland. A third nipple, sir. He always uses a golden bullet, hence man with the golden gun. Present domicile unknown. I think that's all.
Tell me, Commander, how far does your expertise extend into the field of diamonds?
Well, hardest substance found in nature. They cut glass, suggest marriage. I suppose I've replaced a dog as a girl's best friend, and that's about it.
Refreshing to hear there's one subject you're not an expert on.
Diamonds. You think you can dig me something up on diamonds, their grading and distribution?
Should we just wait a moment, sir?
Next time will do. You see, there's some information you can't get out of books.
Sometimes there's simply no substitution for a field trip.
My relationship with the client, Mr. Bond, is strictly confidential. Like a doctor, priest with a penitent. Of course.
Yet you make guns for fingerless hoodlums, bullets for assassins.
Mr. Bond, bullets do not kill. It is the finger that pulls the trigger.
Exactly. I'm now aiming precisely at your groin. So speak or forever hold your peace.
Mr. Bond, this is impossible. I cannot.
You're quite right. An inch too low.
I have just completed an order for immediate delivery.
Who are you?
My name is Bond. James Bond.
Is there something I can do for you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. There is something I'd like you to get off your chest. Where is Ernst Stavro Blofeld? Speak up, darling. I can't hear you. Where's Peckish? Where's Peckish?
Pyramids!
What a helpful chap.
Drop it, Professor, and behind you.
It's funny, I thought you'd turn up sooner or later. Sit down.
The girl talked.
But of course. And I was suspicious at the Queen's Club, anyhow. When it turned out you were the only one who'd seen Strangway's new secretary.
Very clever, Mr. Bond.
Who are you working for, Professor?
Well, you might as well know, as you won't live to use the information. I'm working for...
This is Smith & Wesson. And you've had your 6. Is it here?
What?
A decoding machine, Lecter.
Must we talk about it now?
Or is it at the Russian consulate? Yes. I would need a plan of the place. If you could get one, we could meet at the San Sofia Mosque, like we were tourists.
Why don't you ask me that later?
All work and no play would have made James a very dull boy indeed. And a much poorer man. Well, poor in memories, that is. It wouldn't do to sit about brooding on the ugly side of a secret agent's life. Fortunately, unpleasant memories fade. But the lovely moments, they seem to grow more brightly with each passing year. It's a pity some of those sweet encounters were so brief.
Good evening. I wondered when you might arrive.
So you are the mysterious Octopussy.
And you are James Bond, 007 licensed to kill. Am I to be your target for tonight?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh,
Hello.
aren't you in the wrong room, Mr. Bond?
Not from where I'm standing.
Since you're here, would you mind giving me something to put on?
Good morning. How's the water?
Why don't you come in and find out?
Sounds very tempting, Miss,
Chew me.
Really? Well, there's only one small problem. I have no swimming trunks.
Neither have I.
Oh, James, I cannot find the words.
Well, let me try and enlarge your vocabulary.
What's happened? Where are you going?
Sorry, darling, something came up.
There. Now you made me miss it.
You don't miss a thing. How did you get in here? Never mind that now, you're here.
I decided to accept your invitation.
Oh, that was for tomorrow afternoon. Tell me, you always dress this way for golf?
I changed into something more comfortable. Oh, I hope I did the right thing.
Well, you did the right thing, but you picked the wrong moment. I have to leave immediately.
Oh, that's too bad. Just as things were getting interesting again. When did you say you had to leave?
Immediately. Almost immediately.
Of course, sometimes 007's reception was a bit on the cool side. It's a pity that certain people didn't take a little more time to get to know him better.
Beautiful view, isn't it? I don't know how to say goodbye.
Actions speak louder than words.
You're so right.
Well, hi there. I'm Bambi.
Good morning, Bambi.
And I'm Thumper. Is there something we can do for you?
I can think of several things offhand, but
Just when it was getting interesting.
what would it take for you to see things my way?
A lot more than you've got.
How do you know?
I don't want to know.
Isn't it customary to grant a condemned man his last request?
You've asked for this. Get up.
Certainly. Yeah. Now let's both play.
down those cards. It is a blasphemy. They tell nothing to those who cannot see.
Oh, but they do. That's a bit of luck. Good luck for both of us.
The cards say we will be lovers.
You're mistaken. It's impossible, forbidden for me. Now you must go.
But you do believe. I mean, really believe in the cards.
They have never lied to me.
Then they won't now. Pick one. You knew the answer before it was given. Strangely enough, somehow, so did I.
You are looking at an industrial laser, which emits an extraordinary light not to be found in nature. It can project a spot on the moon, or at closer range, cut through solid metal. I will show you. This is gold, Mr. Bond. All my life, I've been in love with its color, its brilliance, its divine heaviness. I welcome any enterprise that will increase my stock, which is considerable.
I think you've made your point, Goldfinger. Thank you for the demonstration.
Choose your next witticism carefully, Mr. Bond. It may be your last. The purpose of our two previous encounters is now very clear to me. I do not intend to be distracted by another. Good night, Mr. Bond.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Astonishing, isn't it? The imagination they lavish on the problem of eliminating 007. If there's a bizarre way of trying to get rid of him, you can always count on someone having a go at it. It's a compliment of sorts. Well, I suppose it's a way of saying that an extraordinary life deserves an extraordinary death. One could only wish they weren't quite so relentless about it. There you are. Typical, I'm sorry to say.
I'd like something on the side as well. Information. 3 men and a girl came in.
always underestimates us. Counts on the members of Her Majesty's Secret Service to be gentlemen, play by the rules, that sort of thing. Like to oblige, but our enemies have an unfortunate habit of making up their own rules as they go along, and breaking even those when it suits them. That's why 007 is licensed to kill. But he's also licensed to improvise, because sometimes actions speak louder than licenses.
A pity you leave us. Such good sport.
Unless you're a pheasant.
Oh, really, Mr. Bond? Take my gun. A stray bird may fly over.
I only stopped to thank you for your hospitality.
I'm afraid it will get you to the airport in plenty of time. Come now.
I doubt if I'm in your class.
Oh, you're too modest, Mr. Bond. Over there. You missed, Mr. Bond.
Did I? As you said, such good sport.
Varga's behind you.
Really?
He must have followed us.
I think he got the point.
Making mud pies, 007. Get his gun.
Hold it! Get your hands up. Welcome to hell, Blofeld.
left this with Ferrara, I believe.
Fresh air, fresh snow, healthy outdoor exercise. Well, even 007 deserves a holiday now and again. Unfortunately, this isn't it. It's more like a training course. You see, an agent never knows what particular skill is going to be required in his job, and on a moment's notice at that. He has to be a jack of all the dangerous trades, a master of them, too. In the world of James Bond, it's not enough to be good. You have to be the best. You never know when your life is going to depend upon it. Even on a nice day like this, in Shut.
The forces of evil usually command the big battalions. Hacking your way through them is hard and dangerous work. And even when one's finished with it, there's a final task to be accomplished. The sleek princes of destruction must be tracked down to their lairs, confronted in their arrogance, and terminated with maximum prejudice. Evil should have only one life. Everyone knows he has 9. And James Bond.
Sit down, Mr. Bond.
Your time's running out, Stromberg.
Yours too, Mr. Bond. Yours too.
At least I shall have the pleasure of putting you out of my misery. Desolated Mr. Bond.
Heartbroken, Mr. Drax. Allow me. Take a giant step for mankind.
In The Living Daylights, the 15th James Bond film, Timothy Dalton makes his debut as 007.
It's all so boring here, Margot. If only I could find a real man.
She'll call you back.
Who are you?
Bond, James Bond.
Don't. It's impossible. Now I knew only 2 days, and all I can think of is how we would be together.
Don't think. Just let it happen.
Take over. Now this time, hold it steady.
Where are you going?
Drop a bomb.
James Bond. After 25 years, the adventure continues.
I didn't think it would end like this.
We're not dead yet. Hold tight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Good night.
ご機嫌いかがですか。水野晴郎です。
映画レポーターの西田和明です。
いかがだったでしょうか。ワーナーホームビデオマガジン007ハッピーアニバーサリー。もうワクワクするような場面が連続して出てまいりましたよね。
先生面白いですね。いやね、ジェームス・ボンドといえばね、女性ファン、それだけではなく男性のファンがたくさんいらっしゃるというのはなんか分かるような気がしますね。こうやって見てますと。
そうなんとってね、日頃のね鬱憤をですね、もう007に任してバーンといっぺんに発散させるね、こういった感じがあるんじゃないかなって、そんな感じがするんですけどね。このリビングデイライツを加えましてですね、合計007シリーズはもう15作になるわけなんですよ。早いものですね。皆さん方もですね、お心の中にあの場面が好きだった、あの映画が好きだった、いろんなね思い出が湧いたと思うんですね。私自身の話で大変恐縮なんですけどね、私は第2作の007危機一髪、これ私が題名つけましたしね、これはものすごく好きなんですね。はい。でその後リバイバル公開で007ロシアより愛を込めて題名改名させていただきましたけどね、あの中でオリエント急行の中でですね、ロバート・ショーと大格闘をショーン・コネリーが演じるところ、これが面白かった。それからもう一つはですね、女王陛下の007っていうのがあったわけですね。この作品の時にですね、ジェームス・ボンドが初めて結婚式を挙げるんですね。ところが結婚式を挙げた途端にですね、悪役のブロフェルドからですね、奥さんを殺されてしまうわけです。ということでですね、最後のところでね、ジェームス・ボンドが奥さんの体をかき抱いて泣くんです。ジェームス・ボンドが初めて涙を流した唯一の映画なんですね。
先生、力入ってますね。先生、本当好きな映画を解説する時っていうのはもう力いっぱいいきますね、先生。
それはもうそうですよ。
ティモシーダルトンは別にしましてですね、今まで3人いらっしゃいました、ジェームス・ボンド。皆さん素晴らしい方ばっかりなんですけども、先生特にと言いますとどなたが？
やっぱりね、前の3人の中ではやっぱりショーン・コネリーですね。一緒にゴルフしましたからね。
いいですね。あとのお二方とは、
はい、それぞれ会っております。はい、ロジャームーアは大変楽しい人でしたけどね。それにしましてもですね、007のリビングデイライツを今度いよいよ第15作になるわけなんですけどね、こちらの方もですね、ワーナーのホームビデオからですね、ちゃんとビデオになって出るわけなんですよ。
ちょっと待ってください。この間劇場で放映されたばっかりですよ。
はい。早いでしょう。
早いですね。そうですか。
はい。このリビングデイライツの見どころはですね、もう皆さんご承知の通りですね、4代目ティモシー・ダルトン、彼がね大活躍することはもちろんのことなんですけどね、ニュージェームス・ボンドが登場したりですね、あるいはまたですね SFX を駆使したアクションが登場したりですね、私が一番ポイントとしているのはですね、ジェームス・ボンドがアフガニスタンに乗り込んでいくんですね。というのはランボー3が怒りのアフガンでアフガニスタンにランボーが乗り込んでいきますね。その1年前にジェームス・ボンドがすでにアフガニスタンに乗り込んでいってるわけなんですよ。この先見の目すごいじゃありませんか。
もしかしたらそれがヒントになったとかいうことも、これはあくまでも想像でございますけどもね。
あるかもしれませんね。
でもですね、毎回ですね、毎年出すたびに必ず話題に上る名作になっていくこの007シリーズ、全部で15巻もし手元にあったらこりゃ宝物ですね。
いいですね。何しろ007私も大好きです。もう早速15巻揃えたいと思います。そしてですね、時間があれば好きな時にそれを出してですね、好きな場面を何度も皆さんも繰り返して見ていただきたいと思うんですね。そして007のですね、たくましさ、話題、それをですね大いに心の中に蘇らせていただいて、ご自分もですね明日の勇気ね、これつけていただきたいと思うんですね。
恐れ入りました。
全てのビデオの常識になる。デジタルトラッキング、そしてノイズイレーススピードサーチ。ハイファイビデオは三菱。
冷たいカップスープできました。新発売クノールカップスープコールド。夏のスープは決まった。味の